Now, I have very, very important friends of mine, for a couple of years right now. First of all, I would like to invite the CEO, Connect Capital, Emmanuel Famuagun, also known as MOK, to join me. Make some noise for MOK, make some noise for MOK. All right. Guys, put your hands together for him. Put your hands together for him. He's a guest, he's our guest. Thank you so much. Welcome to the Late Morning Show. Thank you. All right, and then finally, we all know him as the man of God. Somebody say the man of God. But aside being, the man of God sent by God, he's also a financial wizard. I know he has a vision to make sure that young people are wealthy legitimately. Ladies and gentlemen, I have no one joining me. I have this privilege of welcoming Okunade, Bolu Okunade to join me here on the stage. Put your hands together for him. Put your hands together for him. Hey, make some noise for Bolu. Thank you so much. All right, I would like to welcome you all to the Late Morning Show. How excited are you guys? Are you excited? Have you had a good time so far? Bolu, have you had a good time? Okay, are the mics working? Okay, beautiful. Thank you all so much for being here, right? And like I said, I'm so excited to have you here because, I've had relationship with you guys, and I know that, you are well-disciplined men with a vast bank of knowledge and experience in a lot of things, right? But, for the context of the Late Morning Show, I would like to talk about finance, right? From owning training schools to teaching the young how to be wealthy, legitimate, like I mentioned earlier, to even having companies down to your name, right? This is what, the average Twitter person will call doings. Okay, but I want to know what has been your biggest financial principle that has, played a major role in your life and how far you have come.
All right. Good evening, everyone. So, my name is Emmanuel. So, the biggest financial principle for me, can you hear me? So, a son of Papa, and he has one rule, and that rule is you must not borrow. And that's been a principle in my life, in all my companies, and everything we do. If you can't afford it, you can't afford it, right? When we can, we will do it. We don't borrow. I don't borrow money for any reason entirely. Where God has taken us, bless God, and where He'll take us to, He'll supply the need for it. So, no borrowing.
All right, thank you so much. And Bolu, what about you? What has been that principle that has stood out for you?
I think for me, a core principle is that you must view money as a result, right? So for example, if, let's say somebody is sick, you take him or her to the hospital, they say the body is hot, right? They don't put the baby inside the freezer because the heat is a result of something that is internally wrong. So for me, I believe that money is not a thing per se. It's a result of a thing that has been done, right? So the lens through which money is veiled, right, is really important. It's the result of certain behavioral actions or inactions.
It's crazy that you mentioned actions and inactions, and now that we're talking about principles, I attended your program that happened a few weeks ago, the Early Millionaires Conference. I don't know how many of you were there, right? And, Bolu mentioned something. He was like that one of the major formulas in his life has been tomorrow, right, is equals to today plus time plus your actions and inactions. So, I don't know, for the audience that, for the people that are here that were not at the Early Millionaires Conference.
Why were you not there?
So could you please explain that, that formula, if I can call it that?
Okay, so I'm not used to speaking from a seat. It's really, really hard.
I mean, you're allowed. Fingambo stood up.
It will start to preaching.
I'm surprised.
Anyways, I was explaining how that I read the Bible one day. I have a Christian worldview. I'm very public about this. So I read the Bible one day, Joshua 1:8. It's a popular scripture that we all know. This book of law shall not depart out of thy mouth. Help me. Or thou shalt meditate on it day and night. You don't know that part. Right? But if you go, it says, but thou shalt make thy way. Right? And a lot of people are concerned about the prosperous. But what stood out to me was that my way did not exist. Right? So I'm here, but then tomorrow does not exist. So I said tomorrow is equal to today plus time plus the actions or the inactions you take with today. Right? So that means everyone still has the ability to create the future he or she desires, right? So how you are, which is a cumulative of your past, does not have to be how you will be in future, right? So it's key for me that people realize that literally they can sit down like you are in this meeting and change tomorrow simply by what you are doing with today. So tomorrow does not exist. I have the responsibility to make my way. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. Please put your hands together for Bolu. Now, let's talk about investment. You can't talk about finance, and wealth without mentioning investments. Investment plays a huge, role in being financially adept, right? But the thing is, a lot of people are scared to invest because of the uncertainty that comes with putting money in, different institutions and structures. I once met a friend. He said that he would prefer to dig a hole in the ground, right? How many of us know those textbooks back in primary school when they're talking about how to save your money? There's one they write there, putting money in the ground. I met this guy, he was like that. He would prefer to put his money in the ground and bury it. I know that it's there, than to meet one. Hi there, my name is Choko Ibuka, and if you bring 5,000, my dear, in 4 days, whose I am and who myself, wallahi talai, you will get 30,000 naira. A lot of people are scared about these structures, right? I know because of the scams, what is your advice, to the guy that says he would prefer to save all his life because of the certainty that comes with, only saving? Because he can see his money, if you can put it that way.
Okay, so oftentimes to my students, I tell them this: there are three cycles of wealth. We have wealth generation, preservation, and multiplication. And it is a cycle that you must actively work in if you ever be wealthy in life. And multiplication talks of investing, which is simply the science of money making money. And so you see that it is a principle that every wealthy person in life operates. Your parents have investments, right? Real estate, things like that, stocks, bonds, right? And yes, it can be scary. I mean, we have all lost money. We have lost significant amount of money to invest in, but it's a principle that must be done because your money must make money for you. Saving is good, but that which you have saved, the seeds you have gathered, you must now plant them, which is what investing does. And so your money is working for you over time. And I think it was Warren Buffett that said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work till you die. And so investing is a critical role in your wealth building journey. Thank you.
All right, Bolu?
The first response to that is, it's unintelligent to say that because there was an accident on the way, you will not drive again. So to pattern your life after the casualties of people is not an intelligent paradigm to have to life. Right? That's the first thing. And the person said the person wants to put their money in a hole. They can actually do that. That's real estate. You put your money in the ground. So let me move on to say, a lot of problems with investment is, I tell people, your head is your first head office. The first place you invest in is your head. You invest in the knowledge of investments. That's the first investment that you should make.
Just deliver
I'm learning. I took Guinness speaking course, so please sign up for his course, right? How much is the early bird ticket again?
1 billion.
Anyways, so that's that about that. So the first investment is to invest in yourself. A lot of people who have investment casualties is really not because investments had an issue. It's because they didn't invest in what was right for them. Like I tell people, there's no right investment. There's only a right investment for you, right? So, like I say, invest in your head, invest in knowledge of investments. You have a very, very smooth journey. And lastly, people saying they are saving. Saving is, I don't even know how to put it, but let me tell you, when you save, you are spending, inflation is spending your money without your permission when you are saving. That's the bitter truth. So the fact that the money is not diminishing practically does not mean it's not diminishing in its value, right? So you think you are keeping money, but the question is, the force that is taking the money you are keeping, that is faster than you, how are you keeping money, right? So just like I said, it's not intelligent to pattern your life after casualties alone, right? So you should invest. If you are scared of investments, go with low-risk investments like bonds and fixed deposits. You can sleep with your 2 eyes closed.
Thank you so much. I'm of the opinion that, no one wants to fail in life. Is anybody here that wants to fail? Like, you wake up one morning, my God, failure, where are you? I'm looking for you right now. I don't think there's anybody, and when it comes to finances, no one wants to be, I believe that, the reason why we have people that are not so rich, I don't use the word poor, is because, they don't allow to work for them. So how do you make your money work for you? Because everybody at some point has money. Sometimes enough, sometimes, not enough. But it doesn't matter. How do you make your money work for you?
Okay, so as Bolu said, first thing that I did was to invest in the knowledge of investment. So what are stocks? What are bonds? What is real estate? Right? What is land banking? I had to understand what those things meant and what was tailor suit for me and my needs and what I like. So first of all, I invest in the knowledge of it, then I know what I like, right? And so I can put my money. So if I wear Nike or I have Apple devices, I buy Apple stocks. I'm not saying that's what you should do, but some people do that, right? And so that is what you have to find out works for you, right? So that's basically what I did, and other sectors as well. The more you invest, you have to understand that everything in life is a risk. You being here, you driving a car, you entering a plane is a risk. And so risk is in everything we do in life. Right? Investing is a risk quite often, but you must also access and know your risk tolerance. What you can afford to lose. What you can afford to lose. I will not shake you, right? I've lost a lot of money from investing, but it didn't shake me, right? Go again, invest again, right? That's my advice.
All right, thank you so much. So, Bolu, what do you think? How do you make your money work for you?
The first step to making your money work for you is to have the money that you want to make work for you in the first place. You know, some people don't have the money to even send the money to work, right? So depending on the phase that you are, usually when we're talking about investment, a lot of people talk about external assets. So stocks, bonds, fixed deposits, real estate, commodities. But I think the first thing to realize is that you are an asset. So you must invest in your ability to generate money first, which can be as little as learning a skill. It can be as little as going for a training. Does that make sense? But you must be able to produce the money that would now, send money to work for you. So that's the first place. Invest in yourself, right? Get better. Get more valuable. Are you a makeup artist? Learn how to do it better. A graphic designer? Learn how to do it better. Fashion designer? The same thing. Then, when you have what we call that first generation of wealth, you then invest in the knowledge of investments and then know how to multiply that.
Beautiful. So, making your money work for you is basically investing in yourself, building capacity and knowledge. Beautiful. Now, finally, one statement that has been very, very, that you guys have repeatedly said and has been peculiar about, your vision, your companies, is saying, making young people wealthy legitimately. And I feel it's a bold statement, especially in the era and time that we're in, where people are looking for quick and fast ways to make money. Not everyone wants to be wealthy, like I mentioned earlier, but not everyone wants to, go through the process. Everyone wants to do it quickly. Okay, so what is the driving force behind this vision, right? And how do you want to pass this vision, like I said, in a country, in an environment where, not everyone believes in that ideology? What is your driving force behind saying, you know what, we have what it takes to ensure that you guys make money right way. We'll teach you how to do it.
Okay, so the driving force is, I sat down one day and I was thinking of my whole life today. And we go to schools, expensive schools. Our parents pay the top dollar to send us to private schools, primary, secondary, tertiary, university. And then all we do is what we learn throughout. And why do our parents pay this amount of money to send us here? To see you as well. So that when we get out there, we're in better places to earn higher. But then these institutions don't teach us how to manage that which we are going to earn. And so I saw the flaw in the system. I said, something must be done. So you spend 22 years in school without actually getting financial education, without being literate financially, yet being literate academically. And so you are going to make money, and money is going to come. And you're going to think this revenue does not end because you have not been taught how to manage what you earn. And so our driving force is to raise a generation of financially stable and literate individuals, right? And so that's what we saw. And how are we going to do it? How we are already doing it. For universities, we started our academies, where we're sort of branching out to other parts of the schools, primary, secondary, and to educate basics of finance. So that's basically driving force.
All right, thank you. Put your hands together for MOK.
So I remember sitting there one day. There are two core drivers as to why we're running with. My mission statement is to see young people, keyword, legitimately wealthy. And I'll tell you why that keyword is there. One day I think I was having a conversation with somebody from Canada, and he was just talking about Yahoo boys, right? And I started thinking about these people, and I started asking myself, something is wrong. What do they do? Number one, they reach out to many people, right, at once. That's called marketing. Are you with me? When they want to pay, how many of you know that these people have studied the payment gateways that will not allow them know that you are the one? You can't trace them, right? Bitcoin. What's that? We call that business studies. Are you with me? They have a lot of people. How many of you have seen those videos? All of them are in the room. They're working together. What's that? Collaboration. Are you with me? And then consistently, how many of you have seen those people follow up on you, trying to scam you? That's what in marketing we call that follow-up. I scanned it and I saw that these were just business principles used in the wrong way. Yahoo boys are more diligent than the average business owner in Nigeria. I go to the cafeteria here, I say I want to buy, they say they don't have change. But the Yahoo boy, you can receive payment in PayPal, card, money points, anywhere from the world. They have calculated the place that is optimal. Ask the average business person how long they work. By 5 p.m., they have closed their shop. But that guy is texting you 12 midnight. So they think they are wealthy because of Yahoo. No. They are wealthy because of the principles. So we said, can we take those principles objectively and put it in the right direction and train these people? And that's where the keyword legitimately comes from. So I'm of the opinion that Yahoo boys are not wealthy because of what they are doing. They are wealthy because they are simply following business principles, usually at a higher degree of consistency than the average business owner. And that's number one. And number two reason why I started chasing this is very simple. I call it's something you've probably heard me say a couple of times. I call it the concept of irresponsible money, right? And what exactly is that concept? Can you permit me to stand up? Please, this is the last one, right? Can I have two people give a quick example? Let me just have two people, please. And I'll give a quick example and we'll wrap up. And for me, this is a very serious driving force. Let me help you. Oh, amazing. I think that's not the plan, no. Okay, it's very simple. Let's say this lady is currently like you. Like they just advised, wahala. This is called take it by force. Amen? I'm sorry, amen has come out finally. So let's say this lady is just like you. That man has advertised, for example, 10,000 to purchase real estate. So let's imagine both of them get a job. And like I said, let's say it's a tech job. They're paying you about $10,000 per month. Stipend. Abi? $10,000. 7.5, right? And now they pay this first lady, and she's just like you. Are you aware that she can say, I want to live on 100K? Or let's even be extravagant. I want to spend 500,000 per month. How much does he have left? 7 million, right? Now let's say this person is married, 35 or 25, sorry, 35, 30, and they pay her that same 7.5 million, right? I can see a few old people here. They will tell you that money, they cannot do all they want with it. Because one, children will go to school, right? You will buy fuel in your generator, right? And a lot, right? So that means this lady can say, I want to be investing 7 million. This one's limit of discipline cannot be stretched as far as this one because that money that she has is not more irresponsible. That money now has what? Responsibilities. Does that make sense? And let me tell you how wealth works. If you can chunk out a lot, don't worry, time will do the job for you. That's compound interest. So I found out that if young people can make certain little smarter decisions with money, are you with me? It can go a long way in transforming their life. That window begins to expire around 25. You now have responsibilities with your money. You're not paying for rent. You're not paying for gas. You're not paying for food. Are you with me? So imagine you can just be disciplined and invest the extra. That little can change the entire trajectory of your life. Are you with me? That's exactly the passion to see young people, because by the time you're old, you are now, you now have responsibilities. So I say, if you are responsible with irresponsible money, it will change your life forever. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, so we've come to the end of our interview. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Bolu and Emmanuel. Thank you so much for joining us at the Late Morning Show.
Ta-na-na, 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 ta-na-na.